a certain guy who's also not getting enough love, and that's Demarcus Cousins. Houston recently just cut Demarcus Cousins after guaranteeing him $2.3 million a day before. I will say that's a great gesture by them. They gave Demarcus the money and they said, hey, we're going young. We don't need you anymore. We're trying to build something here. We have Christian Wood. I know he's out, but we want you to go to contender. We're not trying to win games. We're trying to tank right now. I think that's a good move for them. But here's the fan fiction, Caleb. What team do you see him going to, and where do you think he'd fit best at?
Instantly, as soon as that news came out, everyone's like, "Oh, he's going to Brooklyn." But here's why I don't know if he would go to Brooklyn. I don't know if that's the kind of guy that they would want because he's not really defensive minded and he's kind of offensive minded. I don't know if they're going to say, let's just add more offense and average defense." I think the Lakers could be a contender because they also did him right. They let him, whenever they cut him last year before the bubble, they let him work out at the facility still and stay on the roster so that way he could still work out and rehab from his knee injury for the team doctors. So I think he could go there. Boston needs size help. Dallas needs size help. But if I had to pick a team, I would say that it would be the Lakers because they have that familiarity with him. They've paid him whenever he wasn't even on the roster. I think that would be the better fit because I don't know if Brooklyn would be like, yeah, let's double down on having average defense. I think it'd be the Lakers.
You brought up Brooklyn, and I thought you were going to say for the reason that I was going to say, the obvious reason. James Harden and Demarcus. Before James Harden left, Demarcus literally said, yeah, I didn't even really come here for Harden. I came here for John Wall. That's my boy. We don't mess with him. He's a traitor. He's this, he's that.
True. I completely forgot about all that.
You think James Harden's going to be like, yeah, bring him on. Like, that's
Yeah.
not going to work out. There's no way. And Demarcus himself, we're talking about a guy that has major ego, right? This is a guy that didn't want to return to the Kings because he hates Vivek. He hates Vladi. He did not want to even speak to the Kings for years. He doesn't even mention, there's interviews now of DeMarcus, and he doesn't even talk about his time in Sacramento. And you got to remember, that's been the highlight of his career. For him to just completely shun that out, it shows kind of how stubborn he is. And I think he's too stubborn to go back to playing with James. Now, I will say, if he had the opportunity, I'm sure he would maybe swallow his ego, but I don't even think James Harden would even want him there.
Yeah.
Um, Another team that I would say that I think is the obvious choice that you stole my notes again is the Lakers. I just feel like it's too obvious. You brought up a good point. They let him work out there. That's obvious. Also, the fact that I think that it's LA. He loved LA. He talked about his experience there. Best friends with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is out right now. Even more perfect of an opportunity where their best big is out. Marc Gasol is way beyond his prime. Like, Gasol should not be on an NBA roster right now. Montrezl Harrell can't guard anyone in the paint, so it's not like you're losing much by getting DeMarcus. I think they should go get DeMarcus. I think DeMarcus would be a good fit for them. I don't know. I feel like it's too easy. I feel like he's going to go back to the Lakers. He has a good relationship with LeBron. I just feel like the Lakers is the easy choice. I don't know what other team. Now, I will say the wild card here is actually the Clippers. And the reason I say that is because the Clippers almost signed him before the Lakers
Yeah,
did.
that's
So
true.
wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers get him. They do need some help after losing Montrez. I know they have Zubats, but Zubats was getting destroyed in the playoffs last
Yeah,
year.
he got played off the court in the playoffs. They need to address that. Like at the trade deadline or something, they need to figure something out there.
Yeah, so I feel like it's going to be one of those LA teams. If I had to put money, Vegas was on the line, I would say Lakers pretty confidently. But like I said, Clippers definitely do seem like a wild card to me.